Week 2 of the NFL season has just wrapped up, and this week a whole wave of injuries has came by. Some of the biggest superstars and big name players in the league have gone injured. So today I'm going to be talking about the biggest injuries in Week 2 of the NFL season. What's up everybody, it's AC Analysis, and today I'm going to be talking about the NFL Week 2 injuries. So I'm making another injuries video because my previous injury video has got around 250 views at the time I'm recording this video. It got so many views, so clearly you guys enjoyed the content. So when you guys enjoy content, I'm going to make more of that content. So if you enjoy consistent football content, liking and subscribing would be amazing. We're on the road to 50 subscribers. I'm sorry that I did not have a video out on Monday. The thing is, I'm not going to be recording on Sundays because those are days where I pretty much just sit down and watch football, so I won't have time to record for the next day. With that being said, let's get into the video. So in Week 2 of the NFL season, there were actually so many injuries, and I couldn't really cut any of them out of the video because they were all really big name players. And be sure to make sure that if you haven't watched the NFL Week 1 injuries, go check it out. I will leave a link to it in the description below. So the first injury on our list will actually be a very major one, and that'll be Saquon Barkley's injury. Saquon Barkley is the face of the Giants and one of the faces of the NFL, and he is expected to have a sprained ACL, and if it's confirmed, he will be out for the entire NFL season. Saquon Barkley was the best player on the Giants and one of the best players in the league. I actually picked him up with my number 1 overall pick in my fantasy football draft, so that really does suck. This is a different league, by the way. So that really does suck, but also this sucks for the Giants because now their running back that they'll have to depend on is Dion Lewis. And Dion Lewis was good with the Patriots about a good 5 years ago. So the Giants will really struggle for this. And now the tiny little bit of hope that they had to make the playoffs is gone, because Saquon Barkley would make a giant difference in the game. And will his injury cause the Giants to lose more games? Definitely. He is a big factor in the game because the teams have to worry about Saquon Barkley running since he can run the ball well. Then they also have to worry about him passing because he's a very good pass catcher back. They would always have to put a safety on Saquon Barkley instead of a linebacker because Saquon would just beat the linebackers. So this will cause the Giants to lose the glimmer of hope that they had to make the playoffs, just completely disappear. The Giants are done for. Now for our next few injuries on our list, you're going to be noticing a common trend. They're all from the exact same team, the San Francisco 49ers. So the first 49ers big injury on our list will be to 49ers star cornerback Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman has been placed on IR with a calf injury and is expected to be out for at least 3 weeks. It could be from 3 weeks to the end of the season. Richard Sherman has been one of the best cornerbacks in the league since 2011. He was in the Seattle Seahawks for most of his career, but then saved his dying career with the 49ers. But in Week 1, like I said, he got injured. And this injury will really cost the San Francisco 49ers because he is their best cornerback. Their second best cornerback will be K'Waun Williams, who is now going to be forced to play number 1 cornerback and is now going to be forced to match up against the DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones of the league. So will this cost them a few games? It might cost them a few games, but there are going to be some players on the list for the 49ers later down the line that will really hurt the 49ers and might make them lose multiple games. So the next big injury on our list will be to the San Francisco's 49ers starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo got an ankle sprain and is expected to be out for a few weeks. He has a chance to come back next week, but he's really not expected to. And this is a big blow to the 49ers also because he is their starting quarterback, and it is never good when you have to deal with the backup quarterback. It is sad that the 49ers are getting hit with such an injury bug after such a great season last season. But this is the NFL for you, and this is a really bad thing for the 49ers, that they just lost their starting quarterback for a few weeks. At least it's not the full season, but they still lost him. Now, another big 49ers injury on our list will be to the 49ers starting running back Raheem Mostert, and this one's also really bad for them. He had an ankle sprain, and he's expected to be out for around 2 weeks. It's unconfirmed yet, but he's still going to be out for a while. And it is a shame that he got injured towards the end of the game against the Jets. He was having a really good game also. He had 92 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 receptions. So Raheem Mostert was having a really good game, and he was putting up lots of fantasy points for me. But with him getting injured, this is bad because then they have to go with their second string running back, Jerick McKinnon. And they can't depend on their third string running back, Tevin Coleman, because guess what? He's injured too. So they only really have 1 running back now, and this will really affect them since Raheem Mostert is their biggest threat on the field at all times. Actually, I take that back. They have one more big threat on their field, and that is George Kittle. But guess what? George Kittle's out too, and he's expected to be out from around 3 to 4 weeks with a bruised ACL. And now at this point, the 49ers offense are basically going to be dead for like 3 to 4 weeks, losing Jimmy G. They're also going to lose George Kittle, Raheem Mostert. They're really going to have nothing, and they're probably going to lose the next 3 games. Because if you lose one player, it might cause you to lose the game, maybe. But losing the biggest threats on your team is just a big bummer. Also, their starting wide receivers like Deebo Samuel and Chris Thompson are out. And a lot of their offensive line is almost out. So because of this stuff, the 49ers are just not going to win. And George Kittle is a very good blocker. He's almost like another offensive lineman that can happen to catch. So with George Kittle out, it's also really going to affect them. Their second string tight end is Jordan Reed, who's still winnable with. He's still a good tight end. But George Kittle being out is a really big blow for them. So the final injuries I'm going to talk about for the San Francisco 49ers are the injuries to their defensive line. And last season, the defensive line was the strength of the 49ers. But now Nick Bosa is out for the season with an ACL injury, which is a huge blow because last season he did win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then also their starters Dee Ford and Solomon Thomas, who are both really good players, especially Dee Ford, are out. Dee Ford's going to be out for a few weeks. Solomon Thomas, we don't know how long he's going to be out for yet. But the strength of their team, the defensive line, is now gone. So their defensive line is gone. Nick Bosa is going to be a giant blow since he was really good last season and he was poised to do great this season. And then Richard Sherman's gone, making their secondary weaker. The only thing left that they have are their linebackers. So with the 49ers missing all these components, I don't see them winning for the next few weeks until they get Jimmy Garoppolo back, until they get George Kittle, Raheem Mostert back. But right now, I don't see the 49ers even having a chance to make the playoffs, because this is the biggest injury bug I've ever seen in my life. Like, all their best players have gotten injured. So now the second to last big injury on our list will be an injury that would kill anyone who is lucky enough to get the number 1 overall pick in their fantasy football league, and that is Christian McCaffrey's injury. Christian McCaffrey's gotten a high ankle sprain and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks of the NFL season. Christian McCaffrey is easily one of, if not the best player in the NFL, and last season he was one of the only players of all time, if not to get 1,000 rushing yards, 1,000 receiving yards. And even in the game that he got injured against the Buccaneers, he had 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, and 59 yards. So he still put up lots of points in the game that he got injured. But this is a real blow to the Carolina Panthers, and this will make them lose lots of games, because Christian McCaffrey is their threat. And because Christian McCaffrey is the threat, that would allow Teddy Bridgewater to be free to throw to DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Curtis Samuel. I had high hopes for the Panthers this season because I really wanted to see Teddy Bridgewater do well. But now with Christian McCaffrey being out for 4 to 6 weeks, this is going to be a giant blow to them, since now the big threat is gone and they can only worry about the receiving game now. So Christian McCaffrey being gone will really hurt the Panthers. Not to mention that the fact that the Panthers are easily in the toughest division in the NFL, with the Saints and the Buccaneers. So the Panthers, I think their season's pretty much gone now. Christian McCaffrey won't be gone for the entire season, but even for the time that he will be gone, it'll really show in the Panthers game. Now the final big injury on our list will be to Denver Broncos starting quarterback Drew Lock. Drew Lock got a sprained ACL joint and is expected to be out for 4 weeks, which is a blow to the Broncos, who had a really good young-looking team this year. And he's already lost Courtland Sutton. He's already lost Von Miller for the season, and now Drew Lock is gone. I had lots of hopes for the Broncos this season, but now they're pretty much gone with Drew Lock being gone. The Broncos already being 0-2. They're getting hit with their own little injury bug. So now they're going to have to depend on their backup, Jeff Driscoll. And Jeff Driscoll's not going to have easy matchups. He's going to have to play against teams like the Patriots, the Falcons, the Chiefs. He's not going to be playing against easy teams. And because of this, I don't see the Broncos going anywhere. And even if Drew Lock was the starter, even with the injuries that he had, I still wouldn't see the Broncos being able to win at all. So I pretty much lost faith for the Broncos. With that being said, that'll wrap up this video. This has been AC Analysis on the biggest injuries in Week 2 of the NFL season. Thank you guys so much for the recent support. My recent video, like I already said, hit 250 views. Go check that video out. It will be in the link in the description below. But if you guys enjoyed the football content, consistent football content, liking and subscribing would be really helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next time.